Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Rob Mel. No notes, straight from the throat. Well, listen, Game 5 is upon us. We should be watching Game 5 in about 13 hours from now, as tip-off will begin. And this game shifts to Golden State. 3 days between now and last game. And if you guys have been following me, I referred to last game 4 as the most bizarre game I ever watched in basketball history. Nevertheless, the Cavaliers came out and did what they needed to do. They came out there, whether they had help from the referees or not, they needed to come out aggressive. They needed to punch this team in the mouth. Listen, I'm one that believes to beat the Golden State, you need to slow them down and limit their possessions. Maybe work a half-court game. Go a methodical approach. That's something what the Spurs will do. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, maybe Cleveland found the blueprint. Just simply outscore them. And because here's the thing. If you shut them down from their season average, which is somewhere around 115 points a game, and let's say you shut them down, and you shut them down to 100. That means with the defense, the quality of defense that you're playing, you still got to come up with 101. Might be too much of a task to ask for. The simple solution might be, is what we watched on Friday night, was just simply come out there and be aggressive. Be aggressive. Go into the basket, get in the rhythm, and from there, everything else will go. Point taken, J.R. Smith shoots a 35-foot footer with half a second left on the shot clock, and it drops in like if it was a free throw. I mean, so maybe the Cavs have come up with something, and maybe we might see something like that tonight. Like I said, Game 4 was a bizarre game. Are we on pace to see an even more bizarre finish? Can the Cavaliers, the question is this, not only can the Cavaliers win the 3 games coming and be the first team not only to come from a 3-1 deficit, but from a 3-0 deficit? But I asked the question, will the Cavaliers have a reason other than going home to be with their family? But will the Cavaliers have a reason after the end of the night to return to Cleveland? I say no. In the very beginning, before the series started, I said Golden State in 5. After Golden State won the first 2 games, I just knew for sure that the series would go Golden State win the first 2, lose Game 3, and win Games 4 and 5. After Game 2, and listening to Tyronn Lue and watching all the newscasts and sports shows and sports radio, I knew for sure Golden State was going to win Game 3 and go on and sweep this team. I just knew it for sure. Especially after Game 3, I felt that that loss was demoralizing and that Cleveland would be able to recover. To my surprise, they did. But my original prediction was Golden State in 5. And I stand by that. I can't see Cleveland pulling off the victory tonight. I just can't see it. Now, I would say this to you Cleveland fans, and I agree with you. The pressure is on Golden State tonight. The pressure is on Golden State tonight. Sure, some fans can look at it as, hey, we got 3 games to win 1. This is a similar situation to last year, as in the last show that I was taking call, my daughter alluded to it when she said last time this year we was in the same situation. Maybe she knows something I don't know. But at the end of the day, the pressure is on Golden State. And I don't think they're going to lose tonight. I don't think they want that pressure of going to Cleveland for Game 6 and possibly coming back home next week Sunday for Game 7. I just don't see it. I look for Golden State to wrap it up. I like to say rather easily, but I think the game is going to be a bit competitive. I think that Golden State wins somewhere between 10 and 12 points. The pressure is on Golden State. Keep an eye on the referees. I think the referees had a horrific day at the job on Game 4. And, just horrific. From 22 free throws in the first quarter for one team. The Draymond Green technical foul fiasco, whether it was a misunderstanding or whatever it might be, the one thing it wasn't was clarity. Just horrible officiating. You had 13, 14 monitor reviews. Just horrible. A horrible day at the office for the referees. I'm gonna tell you something. If I had a job, a day on the job like that, or somebody who works for me on a job had a day like that, I would send them home. I really would. I would send them home and tell them, listen, you don't have it today, no big deal. You're one of our better employees. And which I would imagine those referees are one of the better referees because they're reffing the finals. But I would tell them, hey, listen, you're one of our better employees. You just simply don't have it today. Go ahead home, regroup, do what you have to do, whether that is to get a drink, meet up with a significant other, read a book, get to bed early, whatever it might be that you need to do to regroup. Go home and do that. Come back tomorrow. That was a bad day at the office for the referees on Game 4. So hopefully we don't have a repeat performance of that. Hopefully we have a game that is clearly decided by the players. And hopefully it's entertaining. I have Golden State somewhere around 120 to 108, 120 to 110. And Durant gets to cut the nets. And with the victory, there's no doubt in my mind at this point, Durant will continue his hot scoring. And I look for him to be the series MVP. My MVP favorite, Steph Curry, he had a bad game in Game 4. I think that takes him out of the run-ins, unless this was to go Game 7, and he picks up steam. But at this point here, I got to go with Kevin Durant if they should secure the win tonight, and which I think they will. Again, the pressure's on Golden State. Cleveland did everything right that they could possibly do right in Game 4. It would be a monumental task for them to repeat that same aggression and that same ability to score from anywhere on the court. It did not matter. They broke records, 49 points in the first quarter, 86 points in the first half, 24 three-point field goals throughout the game. I just can't see them repeating that. Because here's the thing. As well as Cleveland played, and they played sensational, as well as they played, if you take out the first quarter, in which they was awarded 22 free throws, if you take out that first quarter, the rest of the game was even game. Because even in that first quarter, when they went up scored 49 points, Golden State had 31. But again, take the 22 free throws out. Okay, I'll give you 10. Take away 12. Now what was an 18-point lead is probably now a modest 8 to 9 point lead. Which is a game now. So my thing is that, again, I don't want to take nothing away from Cleveland. They did what they were supposed to do, and you couldn't ask for anything more than that. But my question to you all are, Did Cleveland play Game 4 not to get swept or to get back in this? And of course, you're going to hear the one game at a time approach, and rightfully so. But I just felt like they came out and played like they didn't want to be swept. And to me, that's not the recipe to get to Game 7. But nevertheless, it was a win. It extended the series, and it gives them an opportunity to get closer to Game 7. So we're going to see what they can do, what Tyronn Lue can come up with. He refused to take JR out of the starting lineup. JR came up big in Game 4. I believe he had 5 3-pointers. Again, a 35-foot footer with a half a second left on the shot clock. Kyrie Irving was sensational. There was no words to describe Kyrie Irving. He ran out of gas a little bit, and then he got a second win, and he picked up where he left off at. He was sensational. There was a post that started surfacing on Facebook shortly after that game, the next day, and I want to put it to rest right now. I like Kyrie Irving. I'm a fan of Kyrie Irving. I think the guy's career can blossom into something special. I think he's one heck of a player. When you start talking about top point guards in the game, easily top 5, possibly top 3. When you talk about top players in the game, easily top 15, possibly top 10. But please don't mention him in the same breath as Allen Iverson. Listen, guys, I don't know how many of you out there that watch my show, listen to me on my soapbox, have really got a chance to watch Allen Iverson play. Allen Iverson was special. This guy was special in every facet of the game. The guy was relentless. He's a lot like Kyrie Irving when it comes down to their approach to the game and their ability to do the unbelievable and the unthinkable. But unlike Kyrie Irving, Iverson brought it every night. And what I mean by every night, not that he didn't take nights off. Never mind that. There was not a game that Iverson played and you said at the end of the game, what happened to Allen Iverson? I didn't see Kyrie Irving is not consistent enough for me. Before the season started, I don't know if you guys remember or recall, I thought that Kyrie Irving would challenge Westbrook for MVP. I thought this was his year. I thought that LeBron wouldn't be as hungry as he was in years past because they won a chip for Cleveland last year. I thought this was the passing of the torch, or the mantle, I should say, in Cleveland. I thought that Kyrie Irving was going to come out and be a runner for MVP. He's nowhere even close to that. That's the difference between him and Iverson. Kyrie don't bring it every night. When he brings it, he brings it. Iverson brings it every night. Every night. You didn't have to question anything about Iverson other than, can he pass it just a little bit more? However, if you play with the people he played with, you would understand why he didn't pass the ball as much, especially in his Philly days. But please don't put him in the same sentence with Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is so special that when you rank him among the top players by position, you don't even know where to put him. I mean, is he going to be ranked in the top point guards? Or is he going to be ranked in the top 2 guards? I mean, or is he just in a class by himself? Is he in a class by himself? I mean, think about that for a second. Where do you rank him at? But at the end of the day, you ask me, he's probably one of the top 20. Clearly top 20 players to ever play this game. He should be there. His heart, unmeasurable. I mean, this is a guy who started the trend of playing wrapped up. Some of these guys do it for fashion statement. Iverson was hurt. He was hurt. He come out there looking like a mummy, bandaged up, relentless. I remember Shaq said, man, he never played against a player that had his intensity, his heart, his passion. He said, he come down the middle, I knock him down. He gets back up, he comes back. He said, I knock him down, he comes back. He said, I learned not to hit him so hard anymore or hit him at all because he's still coming. I'm on the bench with foul trouble. That was the kind of player Iverson was. Barely 5'11" and barely 175 pounds. And didn't practice. Didn't take the game as serious. Imagine he did. Imagine he did. I'm not saying he didn't take the game itself serious, but he probably could have practiced a little bit more or did more. Maybe took care of himself a little bit better in a sense where, off the court, I don't know per se, but I'm sure this is a guy that should have been playing longer. I bet there wasn't a dry eye at the Hall of Fame when he gave his speech. Today's players, they salute Iverson. They salute Iverson. The player they chase or the player everybody knows is Michael Jordan. And rightfully so. But the player these guys admire the most is Allen Iverson. He did it his way and was successful. So again, no knock on Kyrie Irving. Sensational player. The things that he do is unbelievable. He may do things that Iverson might not be able to do. But he's not Allen Iverson. Please don't put him in the same sentence as him. Please. With that said, I'm going to end the show on that note. Golden State wraps it up tonight. Four games to one. Something like 120 to 108, 120 to 110, 120 to 112. Kevin Durant's MVP. He gets to cut down the nets. And we start thinking of off-season plans for the NBA teams. Enjoy the game. Peace and blessings. This is Raul Mel for Chopping It Up with Raul Mel. No notes, straight from the throat. Y'all be good.